on, everyone? I am super hyped. I don't understand why, and then in some ways I do, but it's just been a great day for me, and I just wanted to come on here and just share real quickly something that I had spoken about like 2 years ago, and I just want to kind of revisit that based on a great conversation I was having earlier this morning. But I spoke about the season of singleness back in the summer of 2022 and why that season is so important. I feel it's almost like the most important season to have in one's lifetime, because that's the time where, if you're a believer, you spend the most time with God, and also the most time with yourself. And part of that process is really to not only just heal from the past relationship and whatever went wrong in that relationship, but also to learn the lessons, also to stand firm on your morals and principles, setting some standards for yourself, some boundaries, all these great things. But also understanding what you will not bring into the next relationship. And so I always encourage people to spend a lot of time on their own, do things by themselves, discover who you are, love on yourself as much as possible, which for some reason does not necessarily include spa days. That's not what I'm talking about. Yes, self-care is important. But it's more about introspection and understanding what you will stand for, what you won't stand for, and, sticking up for yourself. And when I say sticking up for yourself, it means like, having to talk to yourself in the mirror and say, you're valuable, you're loved, you're lovable, and whatever else that needs to be said. Saying that to yourself. So, people call it affirmations, whatever. The point being is that you are responsible for your own personal well-being, and it's up to you to build yourself up to such a place where you know who you are and you stand firm in who you are, and no one should be able to really rock you left or right. And that comes in concert with having that personal relationship with God, because then now stepping into, what would be back on the market, so to speak, you want to make sure that you discern God's voice where he says, this is who I have for you, and not just go based on, ego, sense of desperation, impatience, all the things that would cause us to make bad decisions. So that was pretty much the nuts and bolts of our conversation, and then sharing something personal with why I've chosen to wait and why I'm not even concerned with a lot of things that society and culture are worried about. They can worry about it all they want. I won't, because I know God's got me. And he's got my best interest at heart. He's always had my best interest at heart. And so I got to stand firm on believing that his promises will come to pass. So when it comes to being in a new relationship or a future relationship, it will happen. It will happen, and it will happen on God's terms. I desire to have another child. It will happen on God's terms. And, I'm not obsessed with whether it's going to be natural or if I'm going to adopt, or if, by proxy, so to speak, connecting with who God has chosen for me, they're coming with children themselves. It is what it is, right? So I don't spend too much time obsessing about, who I'm going to be with, how it's going to look like, and when is it going to happen. I just trust that it will happen at the right time. In the meantime, I focus on myself. I focus on becoming a better version of myself. I focus on, again, those same standards, principles, morals that I've set for myself, and continue to hold steadfast on those things. And that's what I encourage for you guys as well. So I hope you guys took something away from this. It's something I love to speak about a lot. And I would love to get somebody else on with me next time to kind of do this fair exchange. in this conversation, because it's usually just a one person type of show. But spend time with yourself. There is nothing wrong with spending time with yourself and learning to enjoy your own company. Don't rush into no relationship. When we rush, they say fools rush in. And the reason why they say fools rush in is because fools don't think, right? They don't discern anything. And I'm not to say that I'm calling y'all a fool. I'm not calling anyone a fool. I'm just saying don't act like one. You know, take your time. Understand who you are. Understand what you want out of life and the type of relationship that you would love to have. And then bring that to God and let him work. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, guys, take care. Have a great night. Peace.